I'm very excited to be here, and I look forward to talking to you about our journey. But first of all, let me play a short video about who we are as Mars and what do we represent. I hope all of you enjoyed that short video about who we are as at Mars. Let me start with what we believe at Mars. The world we want tomorrow starts with how we do business today. If we were having this conversation in person, I would have started by giving you all some M&Ms and Snickers. Unfortunately, we are working from home, and I hope in one of the future events, I'll be able to hand you some tasty candies. I am Deepak Jose. I am the head of business strategy and advanced analytics at Mars. And today I'm going to talk to you about how we are leveraging data and analytics to drive profitable growth. Now, in today's session, I'll give you a brief introduction to who we are as Mars Digital Team and what we call as the Mars Digital Engine, and three broad areas. One, our value-focused analytics approach, our approach of building to adapt when we are building the solutions, and finally, the enablers of our success and what is making us successful so far. Now, Mars is a more than 100-year-old company with more than 100,000 plus associates. When we started the digital transformation journey, our leadership wanted to coin a message which is very simple. And that simple message was speed, 100x speed to drive growth, improve efficiency, and avoid risk. That's how digital transformation was introduced at Mars. And I'll talk to you about how we are driving this speed. For people who are new to Mars, you would be familiar with several of our billion-dollar brands like M&Ms and Snickers. One thing I personally learned when I joined Mars was about our Mars Pet Care division, which includes pet nutrition brands like Royal Canin, Pedigree, but not only the pet nutrition, it also has Mars is one of the largest employers for veterinarians in the world. It has other segments like Mars Food and Mars Edge. And for this 125,000 plus associates, I'll tell you how data and analytics is making a huge difference. And one of the main factor on how we are making that difference is through what we call as the Mars Digital Engine. Now, Mars Digital Engine, it is a very simple construct that we use, which is a four-prong approach. One, finding the problem using design thinking, keeping the user at the center of the problem finding. We tell before solving the problem right, we have to find the right problem. That is the find. The second aspect is solving using AI, machine learning, and all the next gen technology. Once you find, solve by creating some value, then we spend time on automating so that we can free up the time and resource for our business associates. And all of this is going to work if and only if we deliver these transformational initiatives in an agile manner. The word simply put, if you want to move from point A to point B, you don't need a Ferrari, you just need a skateboard, as simple as that. And this is going to be successful if it is going to be business led and digitally enabled, which is very important way of our working, which is making us successful. Now let me talk to you about uh, uh, analytics can mean many different things. It can mean different ways of working as well. But what does value focused analytics mean for us at Mars? So let me start by telling you, most of you might have already know this slide about the different kinds of analytics. And the key area, the descriptive and diagnostic analytics, talks to you about what is happening in my business and why is it happening. A predictive and prescriptive is the area which talks to you about what is likely to happen and what action should I take. As you would see, the complexity in predictive and prescriptive analytics is significantly higher, but at the same time, the value creation opportunity is very higher. Now, when we started the analytics transformation journey at Mars, we wanted to give a lot of importance to the predictive and prescriptive aspect to focus on value creation. Now, as a data analyst, you would have seen in your organizations, there are three kinds of approaches to drive data and advanced analytics approaches. The first approach is a data focused approach, which focuses on creating a lot of focus on data automation. Think about a traditional IT organization, which will help you get access to a lot of data. But their focus is a little bit less on insight and not on decision enablement. Now, another approach for data and advanced analytics is the insights focused approach. A traditional CMI organization, consumer marketing insights organization, there are a lot of insights driven organizations. So they'll give you periodic insights. They don't really worry about the automation of the data, neither they are worried about the decision enablement. Now, let me start with, so I mentioned about the data focused approach, the insights focused approach, and finally, the value focused approach. At Mars, we are very proud about our value focused approach. We focus on decision enablement first before thinking about data automation or insights generation. Um, in if I were to put a simple example for it, I am not going to do a pricing analysis or a pricing study unless until my sales team is ready to have a tough negotiation with the customer to take a pricing action. So we are very in action oriented in the way we define analytics. It's not only about data to insights, it's also about insights to action in the way we focus on the analytics problems. Now, I'll share this approach of inverted pyramid. Some of you might have seen it. In a traditional organization, we spend a lot of time on ingesting a lot of data so that we can create some knowledge and insights, to create some action, to generate some small impact. Now, how we want to change and how we want to provoke the organization is, how can we have an inverted pyramid approach? How can we start thinking about creating a huge impact? And for creating those impact, what are the actions that we need to take? For taking those actions, what is the knowledge and insights that you need? And for that, what is the data that you need? Having an ideal data, it's an utopian concept. I wish everybody has ideal data, but let's think about impact. So that is the foundation of the value focused approach at Mars, and it is helping us drive millions of dollars in profitability improvement out of the initiatives that we are driving. Another important concept that I want to discuss with you is the idea of building to adapt when we are thinking about the analytics solution. I want to start by telling you a story. If you have heard about the Central American country called Honduras, this country is very prone to natural disaster. a lot of hurricanes, floods, etc. In 1940s, the Honduran government collaborated with the US government to build a bridge a, to build a bridge which can withstand any kind of natural disaster. This is called the Choluteca Bridge. It was built with some of the strongest foundation ever, and uh, that construction was completed in mid 1940s. But several years later, do you know what happened? Another natural disaster hit the country. The it was called the Hurricane Mitch. There was a lot of earthquake and flooding. And do you know what happened? The river changed its course. Now you have a river, you have a bridge with no water under the bridge. So, and this is a very good. I heard about this from one of the innovator, Brett Munster. When this story resonates a lot with us at Mars, especially since the time of COVID. If we are building a solution to last without any adaptability in mind, then we are designing ourselves for failure. Our business problems are going to continuously evolve and change, and we need to be ready to adapt to this situation. Now, the reason I told this story is because when we are building analytical solution at Mars, as all data analysts, my encouragement is for you to think about these three words when you build any solutions. First, building a solutions as interconnected. Let's try to break the silos within our organization and connect the dots, build it interconnected. The second, build it in a reusable way. A lot of cases we might end up creating a one-time analytics solutions. How can we move away from that and build a reusable solution? And finally, the white box approach. It is always important to have the intellectual property of your solutions with your organization. And the main reason being, if you want to make changes to your data engineering layer or the modeling layer, it is important for you to own the IP so that you can make the changes and keep on adding and connecting the dots. This is the approach that we are using at Mars, and it is helping us tremendously. Now, omni-channel, especially since COVID, the e-commerce is accelerating, and in this environment, we have seen that this is helping us significantly. Now, this is a list of several capabilities. I'm not going to get into the details that we are building for the global customer teams across omni-channel, sales and categories, supply chain, store execution, and overall performance. And each of these capabilities, we are building it in a reusable, interconnected, and in a white box approach. So once we are building these capabilities at Mars, we want to make sure that this capability goes to everybody. Now, you are familiar with these two faces, the Iron Man and the Wonder Woman. We don't want to build any solution at Mars only for a select group of people. We want to build that digital armor for every associates. These digital armor, the solutions that I mentioned for the sales team, that is going to help them make the Iron Man and the Wonder Woman with this digital armor. That is the foundational philosophy that we continuously follow, and it has helped us be very successful. Now, I want to talk about some of the success stories and some of the enablers of the success. Now, data and analytics as a profession, um, traditionally, sometimes we never got a seat at the table. Now, the way I think about data analytics as a profession, I want to compare it to a Michelin star chef. Gone are the days where the chef is going to sit in the back office or sitting inside the kitchen without no interaction. Chef is an expert. You need to understand the end-to-end capability. Do you know what is very one important thing about the Michelin star chef or that experience? You are just not only serving a product or a food, you are serving an experience. That experience is very important. Now, one key concept that you need to think about, a chef always interacts with the customer. And this is very important for a true data and analytics professional to have a zero distance to the customer. Another aspect is we need to make sure that we have the right kind of customers as well. If you have a customer who goes to a Michelin star restaurant and expect a fast food, I think you have a wrong customer choice. So identifying the right customer is also very important while you think about your data and analytics initiative. We call it the product owner and zero distance to customer at Mars. But this is an analogy I use every time. And what does it mean for us at Mars? So this is an external survey that we did with the help of a management consulting firm. You would see in 2017, the analytics score for Mars was relatively lower. In 2018 and 2019, we have made some significant progress. Now, in 2018, we were already above the CPG average. In 2019, we are moving towards the analytics leadership space. Now, we don't want to stop here. Because of COVID, we could not do the survey in 2020. But we don't want to be the best analytics organization in a CPG organization. We want to be the best analytics company in the world, and that is what we are aiming for. This is, again, a lot of these are enabled by several factors. I mentioned about in the beginning the business-led and digital-enabled approach, where I talked about find, solve, automate, and deliver, the Mars digital engine, which was very important. Another important aspect is about the agile delivery. And the last aspect is the iterative approach. We don't have a silver bullet, but let us build that mindset to test and learn, get the feedback, and improve our capability over a period of time. Now, I'll leave you all with a provocation and an encouragement. So let me ask you a question. How do lions hunt gazelles? Now, as you know, gazelles are some of the fastest running species in the world. They run really fast. They run really fast compared to a lion. Now, the way lions hunt gazelles, the younger lions chase behind the gazelles, and they would drive them towards the older lion. When the gazelles are closer, the older lions would hide and they would jump in front of them and they'll roar immediately. Suddenly, the gazelles would become very scared. You can call it as a deer in front of the headlight. Even if they are the fastest running species, they are so scared and they cannot move. That's when the lions make gazelles their food. Now, do you know how does the gazelles escape? The gazelles, those who escape, what they do, they see the lion, but they'll continue running and they jump through them. And they move in they run zigzag, they run in an agile way, and that's how they escape. And do you know what is that one factor for the gazelles which escape? That is courage. For us also as data and analytics practitioners, we are generally younger, data, AI, these are new concepts. You will always find these older lions within the organizations who are 20, 25, 30 years in the organization with a lot of traditional mindset. Now, for you to be successful in digital transformation, you should have the courage to go build your basics, stand your ground, believe in yourself, and challenge the status quo and make that digital transformation. This is something which I tell to my team, and I would want to leave you all with this provocation. With this, again, the world we want tomorrow starts with how we do business today. Thank you, everybody, and happy to take any questions, and please feel free to connect with me.